Hey everyone, Tony Walsh here. Welcome back to the channel, and I guess it's sort of a shout out video, what's been happening on the farmstead and just a conglomeration of it all. But recently, Jackie and I flew to New York to Fort Drum to where Andrew could pick us up because he is actually at home. I am filming this introduction on December 20th, Friday, December 20th. So we flew to New York last Friday, jumped in his truck and started driving back south. And we do that for a couple of different reasons. One, he's always home for 3 weeks during Christmas, except for when he was deployed to the Middle East. And because he wants his truck to go hunting, visiting friends, do what he wants to do, you know, without having to ask or borrow a vehicle. So he picked us up at the airport, jumped in his truck and headed south. But let me tell you, we left Jacksonville, Florida in short sleeve shirts, and by the time we got to Watertown, New York, it was cold, as you'll see in these upcoming clips. Hey folks, Tony Walsh here. Welcome back to the channel. Obviously, Jackie and I are no longer in South Georgia. We are in Watertown, New York. You can see the snow behind me. We are here to our annual trip to fly up to New York and jump in Andrew's truck and head right back home. So we're here for a total of 15 minutes and headed right back to South Georgia. Enjoy our trip back south as we show you some sights. Okay, Andrew has picked us up. We're walking back to his truck. It is a warm, windy 27 degrees. And for South Georgia folks, that's cold. And we get down to 27 in South Georgia, but whew, Lord, I guess that snow makes it a whole lot colder, so we're gonna get in the truck and get warmed up. Now, the reason we always fly up there and ride back with him is where, one, he doesn't have to make that journey on his own, even though he's a grown man, been over in the middle of the East and saw some combat. You know, he can make that drive by himself. And actually, on the drive back, he probably drove 90% of the way. I think out of that day and a half coming home, I might have drove 4 hours, so he drove the overwhelming majority of it. But the purpose of Jackie and I going, besides that, is we always like to, we use that as our vacation to stop and see a few sights, but more importantly, stop and see a few friends. And the one we always go see is Dee and Doug from their channel Dee and Doug Retired, because they have turned out to be some, not just YouTube friends, but real life, wonderful, awesome friends. So I didn't take much video when we were there with them because, one, I just, you know, sometimes I get caught up in the moment and it just don't strike me into taking a video, but I did take a few clips, so we'll watch them now, or you'll watch them in just a moment. But a couple of things I wanted to show you. Well, let's just watch the clips. Okay, those clips you just saw were from Friday, December 13th, and this is Saturday morning, December 14th, and it is a nice, cool 20 degrees, and it actually does not feel that bad, even though it's 20 degrees, because there is no wind. We are in Hazleton, Pennsylvania, and you can see Andrew went to get gas this morning, so that's the ice and snow, crud, and everything else that come from underneath his truck where we parked last night. So he's moved over one spot, and you know, see him kicking it there, trying to beat it apart. So it's a solid chunk. So we are on the way to meet one of my favorite YouTube friends. You have seen them both before, so you'll see them again in just a moment.
I didn't even see you there. I'm like, how are you? You do too. How are you? Good. I thought this was Andrew sitting here, and I was just like, is that Andrew sitting?
Okay, you saw those, just a couple of brief clips, but if you noticed in the one where they come in the restaurant and we met, they had a bag with them, or a couple of bags, and they had give Jackie and I, or brought Jackie and I, some Christmas gifts. And the first one right here in this bag is a wooden cross that they purchased at a flea market, a farm show of some type. And Dee shows this on her, so it's a housewarming gift for Jackie. And these different colors are not painted. These are different types of wood that whoever the craftsman was took his or her time to put this together. And it is, one, it's a cross to show our faith in God. Obviously it simulates red, white, and blue for, you know, our country. But also, you know, you could, Andrew in the military, one thing that I put into it is the red, the blood of Jesus, the white, the purity of Jesus, and the blue representing the waters of baptism. So we love this gift. We will proudly put it in the new house somewheres, and may even wait till Dee comes to visit to let her pick out where we're going to put it. But we will, sure enough, display this in the new house in a prominent place to, one, just show our thanks to Dee and Doug, but also to show our faith in Jesus and in honor of our country. So that's Jackie's gift. Now, Dee does not know my heritage. You know, so I have some Irish in me, have some Italian in me, you know, and everybody thinks I'm from the South, but I'm not. I'm from Michigan. So I'm an Air Force transplant. My stepfather was from South Georgia, and when he retired, we moved here I was in the 5th grade, and I moved here January 1, 1974. Very easy date for me to remember because it was right after we got out of the Christmas breaks at school in California and come to Georgia. So started the new year at a new school, and boy, it was a culture shock to me. But anyways, so Dee gave me this box of Panettone. She knows I love coffee, but I also love bread, as if you can tell by my size or what's left of it. And I'm down to 242 pounds. I started at 292. No, I'm not at 242. I'm at 245. So since February, I have dropped from 292 to 245. But I love bread, and it has been one of the hardest things to cut back. But I still love my coffee, and I still eat bread sparingly, and I will enjoy, and I know my mother-in-law will too, we will enjoy eating this with a hot cup of coffee. So thank you, Dee and Doug, for these 2 gifts. I almost forgot. I did take a couple of clips while we were out and about, and one of these is so hilarious. You've got to watch Dee and Doug's channel. Before Doug retired, it was Dee Diets, and since he retired, they have joined forces, and they make, not only are they wonderful people and loving people, they could have had a comedy routine on TV because they are hilarious. I just don't know what else to say about them, but she calls Doug His Majesty, besides a few other choice names that she has for him. But he just does this shriek in her ear that is just comical. And you know it's coming, and it's still surprising. And it's still lovable as far as I'm concerned. So let's watch this clip.
Worry about it. It's a
Okay, you saw us giving the hugs to Dee and Doug. Dee and Doug retired as our channel, and there's the famous Dee.
Yeah,
His Majesty Doug.
You asked.
I was so hoping that he would do that. I was so hoping. I was in my mind just thinking that he would do.
I'm gonna kill him.
She said she was tired. We just woke her up.
Oh my God. I hate you right now.
I couldn't have paid Doug to do that right there. Just
Look at your face. You're all red because you're so happy.
2 peas in a pod. Great minds think alike is what it is.
I'm done with you.
There we go.
I'm done with you.
Chocolate, vanilla, honey.
Yep.
Local apiaries.
Yep. So we are at Heller's Orchards, somewhere in Pennsylvania.
Wop Wallabin.
Walk Wallabin?
Yeah.
Walk
Wop.
Wallabin.
Wop.
Wop.
Wop is in Italian. Wallabin.
Okay. All right. So anyways, Jackie's over there buying some stuff. And if you don't know who these two are, Dee and Doug retired. They have turned out to be some lifelong, wonderful friends, you know, that I am so glad that you two brought us together.
I'm building a
Disclaimer.
home on his property and I'm leaving
Yeah.
my husband.
Disclaimer, Tony's been fighting mental health since he was in diapers like yours truly.
I hate him right now.
So we are out doing some shopping in the community and just spending time together in fellowship. And we'll see
Yeah, we're
what
fellowshipping.
we'll see what else we get into.
So after leaving Pennsylvania, our plans were to go to Washington, D.C. and do some more touring because we've been there a couple of times. Done Arlington twice, done Gettysburg, and we need to go back and finish that because we did not get done. You got to have good walking shoes when you go to those places. We drove through D.C., but we wanted to walk it this time. But Andrew changed his mind. He decided he wanted to go to Nashville, Tennessee to walk Broadway there. So that's what we did. We left Pennsylvania, drove to Knoxville, Tennessee and spent the night. And then we drove to Nashville. And I took a few clips while we were in Knoxville. I did not take any in Nashville. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. But sometimes, as I said earlier, sometimes I just don't get caught up in the moment and don't feel like videoing. But we ended up going to Nashville. And after that, we went the long way home to meet up with Frank and Tina. Now, if you don't know Frank and Tina, they haven't been on YouTube much in the last year or so because life has got busy for them. And Tina also has a channel called Colette Frye, and I'll put links to those in the descriptions. So I called them. We didn't want to go through downtown Atlanta, so I just said, well, let's go by Frank and Tina's. You know, it's not that far out of the way. So we called them, said we were coming through. We were going to have to spend the night somewhere anyways. So called them, and they said, well, they were actually going to Alabama to see some Christmas lights. So we decided we would meet with them in Oxford, Alabama, and I done a live stream on those Christmas light shows. So I'll put a card up here and put a link to that video in the description. If you didn't watch that live stream, go back and watch the replay because I can always use the watch time. So we eat at Olive Garden, and I thought I was taking a video and only snapped a picture, but it was Frank and Tina and the three girls, and had a wonderful time. And just like Dee and Doug, Frank and Tina and the girls have come to be great friends, a blessing to our lives, and we are happy that you two brought us together with both of those families. So we went out to eat, watch the Christmas lights, you know, give the hugs and all that stuff. And like I say, I thought I was taking a video, but only snapped a picture, so no clip of them. But just wanted to say Merry Christmas to them, thank them for their hospitality and taking time out of their lives to meet with us again. So that's the end of this shout out, meetup, what's happening at the farmstead, whatever you want to call this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a blessed day and a blessed week ahead. This may be my last video before Christmas Day. May not. I've got one or two more in my head, just don't know when I'll get them posted. But if it is my last video, I wish each and every one of you a Merry Christmas and thank you from the bottom of my heart for the friendship and support you have shown us throughout 2024. So until we get back together, y'all take care. God bless, and Merry Christmas.